Welcome to the 21st show of Gary's English Learning Center.
The 21st, wow.
The 21st.
Yeah.
So it has been a long time. How do you do?
How do you do? Not so bad.
Not so bad.
No.
Yeah. Well,
and yourself?
Yeah. The reason why I bring this up is because recently I read some articles about how to be polite in Britain, and they were talking about how do you express your greetings to a friend or somebody you are not so friendly, and they said you use different kinds of greetings to express that distance.
Well, usually, people say that Chinese people are inscrutable, which means you don't know what they're thinking. But I think the British people are as well, actually.
Even worse.
If anything, even worse, And they won't talk about anything. Yeah. And usually they end up, the only thing they can talk about is the weather.
Yeah. So we should talk about the weather today.
For half an hour. We're going to talk about the weather for the whole show because we daren't reveal anything to each other.
Yeah. But another way of seeing this is that there are always subtleties in language.
Yeah.
And this word subtle is a very good word to describe the whole situation.
It is, yeah.
And remember one thing, the word, the pronunciation of this word is not subtle.
No.
It is subtle.
It's like people talk about debt. Owing money.
Owing money.
But the silent B again. So,
silent B again.
Debt.
Okay.
And you're right, they're subtle. Yeah.
Subtle. Yeah. Oh. We're talking about the subtleties and nuance.
Nuance. Because that's from French again.
Of language. Very pretentious.
Yeah, pretentious. Or sophisticated.
Yeah. So let me read the PowerPoint of this one first.
And actually, funnily enough, sorry Eddie, this comes from the telegraph, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Now, a telegraph, ironically means to say something loud and clear.
Yeah.
That's very ironic, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what telegraph means.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The translation table explaining the truth behind British politeness becomes internet hit. So what is this hit? This hit is, could you recognize this guy?
Yeah.
Or this woman?
I can't recognize her actually, but I can recognize this guy actually.
Yeah. Of course.
The quintessential Englishman, isn't he? Quintessential.
You see?
Well, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
He really is, isn't it? Quintessential. The really best example, really, of an English person. Yeah.
But when you say he is typical English man, he is so handsome. Do you mean that all the British guys?
I just speak for myself.
Okay. Yeah. So, what is this? What does it come? Where does it come from?
It's somewhere in London, but like a lot of places, they all look very similar, really. And of course, I haven't been there for so long. Yeah. But everybody, to save you racking your brains, Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant. Yeah. The British trait of being too polite to speak one's mind has led to a table translating numerous hollow English phrases become an internet hit. Well, this is very, very interesting. All of them are very interesting examples. So I guess the audience or our viewers should stick to this show. Yeah. The table shed lights on just how difficult it can be for a foreigner to understand what the British really mean when they're speaking, especially for those take every word at face value, which means that you take the words literally.
Yeah. You think they mean what they say and they say what they mean, right?
Yeah. Phrases that prove the trickiest to decipher include "you must come for dinner," which foreigners tend to take as a direct invitation, but it's actually said out of politeness that Britons and often does not result in an invitation.
Yeah.
And I remember a few months ago you said you must come for dinner to Mui Bo.
But you did, and I did. And for me, you see, I'm not one of these people, really. I like to say what I mean. I do really.
So one very important question is that if I got to London or somewhere in Britain, and I meet some people who say you must come for dinner, how should I respond to that?
Oh yes, that would be wonderful. Yes,
that would be wonderful.
And you just respond to that, but both of you know that you didn't mean it.
It won't happen.
No.
The dinner won't happen.
No, you're just being polite. You know.
Just being polite.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you politely say, "Oh yes, that would be delightful."
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you just part company and never see each other
Yeah.
again. So
crazy,
this is really very important.
Yeah.
Remember the first thing that if you got to London or some place in England, and when people ask you for say you must come for dinner, remember you should respond. It will be very
delightful, yeah,
delightful
or wonderful, yeah,
and
something
then
like that, yeah.
you should disappear.
Yeah,
okay?
that's right.
Next one. Table also reveals that when a person from Britain begins a sentence with the greatest respect, they actually mean that I think you are an idiot.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
don't use that sentence.
So you'll know.
Or I will beaten you up.
Yeah.
Take you down.
You see, that's why. You see, that's why I would say that to you.
Yeah.
Especially as I know you're a champion Muay Thai boxer.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say, "Oh, you're an idiot, Eddie." I'd say, "Oh, with the greatest respect."
Yeah.
You know.
So, what would the occasion of using this very?
What do you're a big guy, or you know this guy. The guy's a champion Muay Thai boxer or something. Yeah. You think he's an idiot, but you don't want to get beaten up.
But what I mean is that I'm not talking about this very familiar situation. I guess the best way is to use it is when I meet the chief executive of Hong Kong.
That would be the perfect example.
When I meet him, I say, with the greatest respect.
Yeah.
And
But he would probably know that you mean.
I would say he probably won't know.
You probably won't know. Yeah, I wonder.
Despite the fact that he used to study in England.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not. Yeah.
We can make a bet.
Yeah. It's a very interesting bet. It's a good bet. That one.
Good bet.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is.
Yeah.
That would be a perfect usage.
Yeah.
That would be.
What the British say, I hear what you say. What the British mean, I disagree and do not want to discuss this further. What foreigners understand, he accepts my point of view. Wow. What a difficult language to learn.
It is, isn't it? And what a difficult mentality, really.
To scrutinize.
Yeah. I guess it's one of the reasons why I left England. Even though I can speak English perfectly, life becomes just so confusing, you know.
Yeah. So, what the British say, with the British respect, what the British mean, you are an idiot. What the foreigners understand is he's listening to me. Okay.
He probably thinks I'm good, you know.
Yeah. The British way of saying, that's not bad. What the British mean, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, this
is the British understatement, you know. Yeah.
No, this is really something that is very tricky.
But won't people say it here though, Eddie? They say,
I remember Gary used such kind of phrase when he was writing email to me.
Yeah, you really?
Yeah.
I confess, you know. There's another thing I must confess to doing, right?
Yeah.
Is if you want to say something about somebody else who's in the room, like maybe the engineer, you know.
Yeah.
But you say some people.
Yeah.
But you're actually referring to somebody in the room so that they can hear you, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
But it is also the same in Cantonese.
Yeah.
They would say 有啲人.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Just the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. In this case, this is not that different.
I think it's not just to the British, you know. Like for this one, Mhayam Hoa.
Yeah.
Not bad. Yeah.
Our literal understanding will be 唔係咁好啦. But actually, it means good.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
But I prefer that kind of understatement, so I will use it more frequently.
Yeah, it's an understatement, really, isn't it? Yeah.
The show is not that bad.
No. You nearly got me there.
Yeah.
Nearly.
What the British say, that's a very brave proposal. What the British mean, you are insane. And what foreigners understand, you think that's perfect.
This might be useful, right? This might be useful if you're working with a foreigner in Hong Kong. You know, there are a lot of foreigners working in Hong Kong in companies now, right?
Yeah.
And maybe you're working with a foreigner and you have a proposal and that's a very brave proposal.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, oh, he thinks I have courage. Well, that's good. He thinks it's good.
Yeah.
But he thinks, you're insane.
Now I got one interesting question for you. If I'm working with a British boss, when he says something like this, and how should I respond?
Well, you should still go along with what he's saying, right?
Really?
Yeah, you still go along. Yeah, that's very. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you kindly.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Again, that is a very British, polite way.
Yeah, but you should then understand that he thinks it's rubbish, and you should rewrite it and then come back to him with another proposal, right?
But you don't need to resign.
No. No.
And the other angle of this question is that if an American boss say that, what does it mean?
Well, I don't know, because I'm not American, really. That's another code to decipher, really, isn't it?
And I should ask
because they're not fond of that. They don't understate things. Again, like we had in the last example, they overstate things.
Overstate.
Yeah, overstate things. Yeah.
But where can I get some people who can call a spade a spade?
A spade. That's a very good one. A spade.
Yeah.
Well, in the north of England, they're
Scottish.
Yeah, or the north of England. Yeah. They put great store by being genuine. Or genuine, as they say, being a spade.
Yeah.
And they think that London people like myself are tricky,
Oh, yeah.
And we'll talk like this all the time, so they don't like us or trust us,
This is a tricky guy, remember.
No, not really. I'm urbane,
Urbane.
You are urbane. You told me before, yeah.
So, another example, what the British say, quite good. What the British mean, a bit disappointing.
Yeah.
And what the foreigners understand is very simple. Quite good again.
Yeah, they're taking things again at face value, as they said,
Yeah. What does British say? I would suggest what the British mean, do it or prepare to justify yourself. What foreigners understand, think about the idea, but do what you like.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, you've come up with some proposal for some marketing scheme or something like that.
But I have a different opinion about that, because I would suggest, which is a very, very, frequent expression you can find in British English.
But that,
But to interpret that, I guess you have to look at his body language.
Yeah.
Or his expression.
Yeah, that's right. Because sometimes it will be meant as it said. Sometimes it really will be just a suggestion.
Just to be polite and So to give another angle or to make you understand it better. Whenever you try to understand the actual meaning of these phrases, it is not just by reading the words. You have to be in that situation. You interpret your whole body, how you express it, your facial language, or
and the intonation.
And your body language.
That's right.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, everything.
And the context.
And the context. Okay. What the British say? Oh, incidentally, by the way, what the British mean is the primary purpose of our discussion is. What foreigners understand, this is not very important.
I must admit, I'm guilty of doing this one. I must admit, I do this one. Yeah.
So actually, it is the opposite. And if we say by the way, it does not mean that it is something not important.
Yeah.
It means that it is
the most important part.
Oh,
yeah. I must admit, and if I write an email, sometimes I put BTW.
Yeah.
But actually, that's the main thing,
But for those Cantonese native speakers who are learning English, most of them can't get that.
No.
As far as I,
but that's why I thought this would be useful. When you show me this, I thought, wow, that's a really useful, really useful.
Yeah. Okay. What the British say? I was a bit disappointed that. What the British mean? I'm annoyed. So it is a matter of degree, and again, this is something like understatement.
That's right. Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah, this is an understatement. Yeah.
And when the British say that, it means that he is actually very angry, very upset about the whole
quite
situation.
Angry, yeah.
Very, okay.
Yeah.
But for the foreigners, it means it doesn't really matter.
It's not that important,
Yeah. But usually, I guess if the guy say this, he will be. You can guess it from the.
And he's being polite here, really, isn't he?
Yeah. What the British say, very interesting. What the British mean, This is clearly nonsense.
And I must admit, if I go to somebody takes me to a movie or something like that, and I think it's a really boring movie, and they say, "What did you think of the movie?" I say, "It was interesting."
Yeah.
I don't want to offend them, you know.
Yeah.
I don't want to offend them, you know. And
so basically, the whole
spoil the evening by saying, "Oh, what a rubbish movie that was."
Yeah. The whole problem is that the British politeness, which means that the British do not want to be confrontational, do not want to annoy people.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons. Yeah.
But it seems that the whole thing has the opposite effect.
Yeah, it gets people more frustrated and more
because
confused,
every time if you fail to understand it, it will become more. I mean.
Yeah, and a lot of British people don't realise that foreigners are foreigners, that they don't understand the way the British speak English. They don't understand that, you know. I do, so I try and speak plainly most of the time, you know.
Yeah.
Speak plainly, you know.
Yeah.
Really.
What the British say, I'll bear it in mind. What the British, I forget it already. what foreigners, they would probably do it. Oh my gosh. What the British say, I'm sure it is my fault. What the British mean, it is your fault. What foreigners understand, why do they think it was their fault?
They get a confusion, yeah?
Yeah.
And here we go, you're not,
Yeah.
You mustn't come for dinner, which we dealt with before.
I'm just being polite. I'll get invitation soon. I almost agree. Actually, meaning I don't agree at all. Well.
Yeah.
It's far from agreement. Yeah. It is, I have the impression, I have the feeling that English is getting more and more like Japanese.
Yeah.
The Japanese never say no.
No, right. Yeah.
Yeah. I have only a few minor comments. Please rewrite it completely. So again, this is important. I mean, in the office, suppose your boss is a British. When they say, "I only have a few minor comments," actually it means your whole job.
Well, it may mean, again, it may mean, yeah.
It may mean.
Yeah, it may mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to look at what you've written again and try and evaluate yourself.
And
does he really mean that, or does he mean that?
Yeah. This is very important because if you interpret it in the foreigner's way, you will think that there are some typing mistakes in your article. Or
it's got to change a few little things. Yeah.
But actually, it means the whole thing is.
So you have to go over and evaluate yourself, and maybe ask a colleague to evaluate it. You know?
Yeah.
Does he mean this or does he mean that? Really?
Yeah. What the British say? Could we consider some other options? What the British mean? I don't like your idea. What the foreigners understand, they have not yet decided. Okay.
So I think all these things really. It's either being polite and considerate. And being sensitive, right? With sensitivity, it's either that, or it's sarcasm or we call sardonism, right? Which means you say something that is not true, but you say it as true. Like if somebody's wearing some horrible clothes, you say, "Oh, that's a lovely outfit you're wearing," But what you really mean, is, my goodness, where did you get that stuff? Well, how can you wear clothes like that? You know,
diplomacy, politics.
Yeah,
being polite.
Yeah, polite. Yeah.
You actually to put it in a very simple way, you don't want to offend people.
That's right. Yeah. But the opposite of being polite and diplomatic is to be frank. And maybe it comes from the so that should be her criticism of my work was frank but absolutely fair. That means you speak your mind. Her criticism
of my work was frank but absolutely fair, without inhibition or
subterfuge,
direct on undisguised.
You're saying what you mean, right?
You say what.
And to have a gall is to be outrageous, to be cheeky and rude almost. That's taking frank to the next degree.
But what is the
like saying you're so fat?
No.
That's gall. Right?
I won't say it either.
Yeah.
So what is the purpose of the maps?
The maps is to show where the Frank people came from. So maybe in the old days, the Franks were the people outside. Britannia was part of the Roman Empire in those days. So the Franks would do what they wanted to do. They wouldn't be kowtowed. They wouldn't be put down by anybody. They would say what they mean what they say in the old days.
Yeah.
So that's the French, you know. I just thought, just for a bit of fun, really.
Yeah.
Now, these people here is Piers Morgan and Simon Cowell.
Yeah.
But on these shows, they have the British people these days, the British men these days, as the ones who speak their mind.
Oh.
You know, when they have these competitions, right? These talent shows.
Yeah.
These guys always say something nice about the contestants.
Yeah.
But these guys say the truth.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know, they actually say the truth. You know, they say that was terrible. Hey, you can't sing at all. You know.
Yeah.
They actually speak their mind. You know. And here we have
the current British icons.
Yep.
This one is Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant, yep.
Mr. Bean.
Mr. Bean, the comedian.
The new James Bond.
The psychopath, yeah.
Psychopath.
That's what people think of Britain, really, isn't it? You know.
Yeah.
You know.
Who's this?
And this is David Beckham.
Sure. I didn't.
Sorry.
I didn't ask you about him.
Okay.
Actually, he was in Hong Kong a few days ago.
Was he really?
Yeah. He was
I
here.
missed that. Yeah, I'm so busy. Right?
Yeah. You were so busy that.
David, why didn't you phone? You know. This is Andy Murray. You know.
The guy who got the tennis champion.
Yeah, he won Wimbledon the first time since 1926 or something. Oh, Fred Perry, the guy who last English guy or British guy to win it.
Almost 100 years.
Yeah. So now he can sell shirts and stuff like that. Yeah. And these are the British stereotypes. This is Stanley and Livingstone. You know?
I have some ideas about both of these guys. Livingstone is the guy who went to Africa, and he.
Both of them, they met in Africa,
yeah.
Dr. Livingstone, I presume, you know, and he's wearing the pith helmet, you know, he's a British stereotype, you know. You know, there's some more British stereotypes, the bowler hat, you know, and these two, you know, Willie and Harry, you know. But I think she looks cuter than them. I mean, the bowler hat becomes something totally different, doesn't it, on a Japanese girl, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then some more.
Oh, yeah. What's this?
The Spice Girls.
Oh my gosh, they're too. I'm too young for that. Yeah. I have no idea.
I've got what's her name now?
I like this one.
Yeah.
And who's this?
Adele. You know.
Adele.
Yeah.
A model or what?
Singer.
Yeah. Singer.
Someone like you. She's really, you know, number one in the world kind of thing.
Yeah. This is J.K. Rowling.
J.K. Rowling, yeah.
The new princess.
The new princess, yeah.
Who this?
And Keira Knightley, you know, that's from that's one of the things in the Pirates of the Caribbean, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Actress, you know. So.
Yeah. So you see, it is quite different from the 70s or the 80s. At that time, the most popular British icons are all familiar to us. And right now, I have a hard time
to keep track. Really,
of the whole thing.
But you know, just give an example. What's what people think of. British people speak, right? And this is the icons that they see, right?
Yeah.
You know?
So after this show, you must understand or realize how difficult it is to learn English.
It is, yeah. You know, there's layers of English, aren't there?
Yeah. And
even though you know English, there's the English culture, right? There's the culture.
Layers of meaning.
Yeah.
Layers of meaning. So this is a very strong incentive for us to keep it up.
Yeah.
Because without us, how can you understand this difficult?
Yeah, and what we try and do here in this show, isn't it, Eddie, is to do out of the book English.
Yeah.
Real English, you know, out of the book.
Out of the book.
Yeah, real world English. Really,
real world English. Yeah. So next time, if you get to London or some cities in England, give us some questions. And we'll try our best. Yeah.
If you've got some examples to give us, we can share it.
We can share it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all for today.
Yep.
And see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.